once was a spy. She was brilliant, erratic, cursed, an anti-personnel mind in human form. Her friends called her Herschel, but for her controllers, she was Cascade.
Your name and your cryptonym. A dead limb twitches.
Portofino 91. The whole sick crew. A disaster untold. The black page in the official records.
The memory hums, an exposed wire.
Reports of how it went down remain contested, inconclusive. All that's certain, it began with a phone call and ended with 6 spies lost. Some say she blew the network herself. Others blame structural factors or transnational capital. The rest just shake their heads as they look down on the smashed and leaking world. Some fool dropped it. One of ours, probably. She was recalled. They put her in the freezer. Forever, most thought. Even in those dark days, there were whispers among the lower sub-levels, where they keep the true believers. Don't count Cascade out. 5 years passed. A little more of the world leaked out of itself. Cascade's controllers ordered her back to Portofino. Because I asked them to. There's a new assignment, Cascade. I was supposed to give you the brief. Right here, in an armchair in a safe house above a 24-hour photo shop in the city-state of Portofino. Right here, in an armchair in a safe house above a 24... No one special. Just an arm-like sack of cytoplasm, a special move unique to single-cell organisms. But before that, I was like you, a spy for the People's Republics. One of the varieties of mankind. This is a dangerous place, Cascade. I should never have come. I got caught with my pants down. On the plus side, I no longer have to worry about independent thought or movement.
This was the human game, and he played it poorly. Time to give up his seat.
Don't blame yourself, operant. Whatever happens has already happened.
Splayed on the chair before you is a man, approximately mid-30s. His chest rises and falls in steady rhythm as he stares beyond you, unblinking. Alive, yet not alive. A pair of headphones have slipped partway off his head, connected to a stereo system beside him. No response. His eyes are still fixed glassily on the ceiling. The pupils quiver like a failing heartbeat. You get no response, no flinch, no twitch. As you stare down at him, the man begins to draw. Highly pleasing rubbability. Stiff collared shirt, a snug brown jacket, and nothing below the waist but a pair of red briefs. Entirely unfit for purpose, based on his current state. Nature's final defense, playing dead. There is no smell of alcohol, nor any open containers. No drug paraphernalia either. Just a loose cord trailing to the stereo system. Like a cosmonaut's safety tether. Your fingers detect a low, steady hum where jaw meets neck. Elevated, but not critical. What that means about his deeper condition, you cannot say. When in theatre, an operant must always prepare to be assassinated. Of course, it is better not to be killed. No vomit, no discoloration on the skin, no bruising or signs of struggle either. If he was poisoned, then this was a professional zero out. The man's eyes glisten. Bright red veins blossom around their edges. If so, he will have to become something else entirely. You both exist now, in different futures. However he ended up like this, the result is the same. Operant down. Not even a flicker of a response. The people's spy cannot be caught shirking. Time to escalate. Your double has deserted the track before the starting gun. Will you stand for it? Pathetic. History ended a century ago. Last time is reactionary fetish. Defend the party, reject the linear progression of time. The man's breath gargles softly in his throat as you yank him upwards. He is Clipped to the inside flap of his jacket, you find a laminated badge, emblazoned with the crest of the Import-Export Bureau of the People's Republic of Kohila. The name reads Esteman T. Below that, a title, Imports Lead. Sock Merchant, one of the opera's most battle-tested covers. That's what the badge says. This is only a cover, but such phantoms often mimic the operant bureau's actual hierarchies. And look how well that worked out for him. You remain ungovernable. Notably absent is an actual phone number. Into your pocket it goes. Like any good operant, he's keeping all cards pressed to chest. The man's head slips 2 centimeters to the left. His jaw slides with it. You can do it, Cascade, he says with his eyes. Following the cord from the unconscious man's headphones, you come to a mid-sized home stereo resting on a sideboard. Through the translucent view panel, you see a single red disc loaded in place. On the face of the disc are the words, "Ultravioletta, you but from a dream," handwritten on thin strips of tape. You don't recognize the artist. The disc is loaded, ready to tell you. The chunky button makes a satisfying little thunk as you push it in. The plastic latch clicks into place, and the discus begins to turn. You know because the spindle is rotating, though the speakers don't produce any sound at all. The kitchen light hums and splinters momentarily. No sound, save the thin layer of static that lines the inner cables. Amateur wire work. It doesn't appear to be. The disc is spinning the way it's meant to. An artifact of no substance onto which nothing of substance has been recorded. Or do you? You can't tell. The silence is being overtaken by a different silence, like the slow darkening of night across the wall of an empty room. This new silence seeps into every corner of your body, loosening fixtures, rattling drawers. Seeing what will come with it. There is still no sound, but in your mind an image forms of a blasted heath, a smouldering circle at its center. Figures in tattered robes stagger and sway on the horizon. Nothing. You're simply playing a disc on a common home stereo system, the sort of thing millions of people across the world do every day. No, you probably shouldn't. The static quiets as you reset the volume. A great relief shivers through you, though nothing has seemingly happened. A brief internal hum, then the disc slides halfway out of the machine and waits there, like it's trying to hide from you. You remove the red disc and place it into your pocket. You pick up the phone. The handset vibrates in your palm. Before you even finish speaking the word, The device connected to your phone base splits it into 256,000 encrypted fragments. Half a world away, a familiar voice splits into a corresponding number of fragments before coalescing again by your ear.
Please tell me you have good news.
The voice of authority, otherwise known as your controller. It's your double she's expecting. Let's not disappoint her.
Operant Cascade, you made it. You're doing something to your voice.
Her voice is just as you remember.
Enough fooling around. Put Pseudopod on the line.
This bit is solid gold. You can't quit now. You glance over at the man in the chair. A snail's trail of dried saliva glints on the side of his chin. You feel your mind starting to spin up. 5,000 revolutions per minute. It takes all your concentration to keep the receiver steady against your ear. For a moment, no one says anything. There's no sound at all, save for the blood in your ear and the electrostatic hum of the ultra-long-distance connection.
Has he been zeroed out?
Meaning eliminated, killed, rendered inoperant. Heavy words, words that set machinery in motion.
That doesn't tell us much. What else? Very odd. Why would he be listening to a blank disc? Probably a manufacturing defect. I don't see how a disc could have anything to do with Pseudopod's condition. So what? Your cover was meant to be sock importers. Okay, that is strange, but I don't see what it's got to do with his condition. Method espionage? Is that some sort of joke? I'll ask one more time. Is your double zeroed out?
You must speak the word. She cannot make the determination herself. Once you say it, there's no going back. The momentum of events will overtake you.
Right. I wonder which it is. Have our enemies blown us up already? Or is this just another day at the basement massage parlor of spy services? Fucking hell.
She's wondering how long till she can have a drink. Shriekily liqueur from a can. It's been several hours since her last.
The opera's going to hang me by the toes. For you, it's back to Satellite Facility B.
AKA the freezer, where the old, useless and discredited are consigned until they're dismissed or die of despair. The freezer. Shiver. Resist.
That's exactly the problem. You haven't got pseudopod and you haven't got the assignment either.
Gang taking heavy incoming fire here. Not sure how long we can hold out.
Listen to me. This assignment is over. Effective immediately.
Over. Immediately. The words ricochet inside your skull.
The woman in the Photoshop downstairs, Constance. She's one of ours. Let her deal with pseudopod.
Middle-aged woman, dark hair behind the counter. You exchanged a few words when she gave you the key.
As for you, we need to get you on the next aerotram out of the city.
That numberless phone line may be worth investigating. Perhaps the room contains other leads as well. They won't be expecting you back in the People's Republics for several days. Plenty of time for some self-directed espionage.
That's a directive, Operant. This assignment is over. Get on the next tram. If what you're saying is true, enemies abound. Don't get yourself zeroed out.
A click, and the line goes dead. A pair of men's trousers are hung delicately over the shower rail. If Pseudopod's pants were attempting to flee the scene, they did not make it very far. Brown, shapeless, they are utterly unremarkable. The front and back pockets are completely empty, except for a few pieces of lint. Your hoist-in must have compressed his lungs somehow. Unless... You discover a small extra pocket inside the front right pocket. You slip 2 fingers inside and come away with a neatly folded sheet of paper. The page is notebook-sized and perforated along one edge. It reads, THA space 7 LES APR space 032 space WIFO space 9W space TBGFLW25. Half a cipher. The language of spies. You've carried papers like this, folded up and hidden away in secret pockets and compartments. We'll be spying harder when you crack this thing. One of the many mysteries concerning men's trousers. He was trying to smooth out creases with shower steam. As you turn away, a stray thought passes. They may never be worn again. This small table has been turned into a makeshift desk. A startlingly red folder stands out against the clutter. In the Operant Bureau's elaborate filing system, red is reserved for personnel files. A small label in the top left corner is printed with one word. Your cryptonym, Cascade. It screams danger, not for human consumption. Your hand hesitates. The folder opens with a whoosh. Before you, In neat monospace type, your life is condensed to its barest elements. Name Wilk Herschel, cryptonym Cascade. Born Landau, former Republic of Mercia. Dependents, none. Pay class D2. Years of service, 14. Appropriate to one whose entire existence is a forgery. What can't be forged? The surge of all-engulfing sadness you feel as your hand rests on the page. There's another page behind this one. It's labelled Service History. A tingle in your fingers. Your head grows lighter as you approach the crash site. In just a few words, the worst failure of your life is reduced to bureaucratic shorthand. Previous assignment, Portofino 88 to 91. Network, whole sick crew. Operants, Cascade. Redacted. Assets, redacted, 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 redacted. A secret the Opera has elected to keep from itself. Obvious, the Opera wanted him to know what sort of spy he'd be working with. Most recent assignment, November 91 to present, Satellite Facility B. The folder shuts itself with a tiny sigh. Whoa, the darkest secrets. You can't just leave them out like this. It takes all your concentration to chew the pages into a wad of pulp you can actually swallow. Taste woody, bland. The laser printing gives a slight tang. Now you've internalized your secrets, they probably can't do any damage from in there. Amidst the crumpled sheets of copy paper and empty takeout containers, you find an open pack of cigarettes, Suprema mark. Smokes, ease of mind, cool. There's nothing outwardly noteworthy about this pack of Suprema 100s. It's like any other found in commissaries and corner stores across the People's Republics. Except secreted neatly against the inner wall of the pack, just as you were once taught to do yourself, a crisply folded sheet of A7 paper. The Jipwell, Vubsquux, Ungs, Sixfazul, Exquum, Yijizv, Digruk, Revux, Skilbuch, Jittabubaki, Wutsup, Sift, Hugtok, Huichk, Slaw, Detruk, Rilliam, Nacht, Skjuva, Fukaxla, Terabit, The pack slides nicely into your pocket, as though it always belonged there. Letter by letter, words emerge from the mist. They speak in a voice you haven't heard for a long time. The day beyond the window beckons you outward. There's nothing left in there, neither smokes nor secrets. You return to your double's limp body.
Easy, lady. I just want to develop some photographs. I'm not trying to take your innocence. You have a wild imagination. A little photo should not count as a crime. It's not like it's a loaded gun or something. Stark realities that prevent me from pursuing my interests. Also racism, maybe. Very well. Photo 24 can have this round. Thank you for this extreme stress I'll now carry through my day.
divorced. I don't presume to know the inner workings of the opera, but I have to think I could be better utilized. Of course, I'm happy with the tasks I've been assigned thus far. Keeping a safe house is a major responsibility, but I have other skills, you know. Chemistry, for one. I have an entire photo lab back here with access to all kinds of toxic chemicals and powders. And yet I doubt anyone would suspect a woman like me of, say, poisoning someone. If the assignment required it.
This is a woman who's planned countless perfect murders in her idle hours.
I'm not saying I hope it comes to that, just if it does. Granted, this is only my debut, but it seems to me that something's very amiss. No matter what we do, nothing appears to go according to plan. Pseudopod says it's all part of the work, but it gives me a rather unsettled feeling. A bit early for such a declaration, isn't it? You've only just arrived. It's that little amber light. It means out of order, and I haven't been able to get it to green, meaning in order.
Just looking at that thing causes you to take psychic damage. Best stay away.
Pseudopod assured me this machine was a vital tool of communication, as precious to our work as the magic box we installed on your room phone. You've received all sorts of technical training, I presume. I would think getting a little light to turn green should be well within your powers. I certainly don't. It looks rather flirtatious. Oh, I'm sure it can. Seedy business attracts itself. You might try one of the bars along Party Alley. much better, thank you.
Finally, someone with courtesy. Do you know when the 9 is coming?
A handsome man shifts in place, glancing over his shoulder toward the tram lines. Suitcases surround him.
Strange. I thought I saw you get off that very tram just a few hours ago. Ah, it happens. In any case, you're out of luck. There won't be another for several hours yet. I'm waiting on the 9. I was told it was having some problems. But it's supposed to be in service any day now. I was told it's supposed to be in service any day now. That was a week ago.
Enough time to grow accustomed to new surroundings and start noticing things.
I agree. But what am I to do? It seems to be the only way out of this city. I would appreciate it. I did see a man like that some days ago, I think. Near the bazaar, in fact.
Our sleeping brother.
No, he was alone. Why do you ask? I guess we share the same fate. Thank you. I'll be here in the meantime.
You hear laughter and music ahead. You can still make out the lower half of the words "Elk Free" sticking out on the brick beneath. Sniff. Get the smells. Frying grease, rust, incense, the dank of canal water. It's all flat. Wrong. Something's missing. Like crickets going quiet under shadow. The old factory is mangy with past identities. An archaeological record of Portofear turf war. It has been many things over its lifetime. For now, it is a black market brimming with foreign imports. You also have the red disc from the stereo system. You could seek out a media vendor to assess it. On the TV, a giant wolf-like creature stands up on its hind legs and howls. Its fur bristles gold. Dangerous, mythical, electrifying. No wonder the kids are watching this. Suddenly, the beast roars and light floods the screen. It's followed by a wet, pulpous sound. An acceptable mimicry of a skull liquefying under extreme thermal stress. On the screen, a headless lupine figure standing on its back legs shakes violently. Blood pours from its neck as flesh reknits itself. The Luz, once a powerful empire, now reconstituted as a modern techno-fascist state, the rising military and cultural power of the day. Oust the names of these grotesque fascist animals. Speak to them of the people's heroes. Neither sounds terribly enticing. Notice that the broadcast is in Mercian, not Lusian, dubbed for a foreign audience. Troubling, especially if Lusian cultural exports are what they primarily consume. A neurotically organized stall, about 10 meters west. A morose man stands there obsessively cleaning a disc-like object. A man of strong opinion that he's not afraid to shout about, even to children. Recite unto them the tale of the end of history and the triumph of post-historical materialism. Child wolf hybrids have no place in the workers' paradise. Some Portofirans refer to Lusians as strange cousins, a nod to this island's colonial past. Certainly not part of Leluz. It's a wealthy state in the developed world, known for its bogs and poets. A mere 4-hour flight, but there are no commercial flights between Portofino and the Illuminated Empire. Perhaps you should let children be children. How deeply has the techno-fascist enemy embedded itself into their psyches? Approximately 20 lights along the blade and a reinforced hill. That's not some cheap bootleg. Trying not to lose count of all the cool stuff he doesn't have. Why would you take this from him? He clearly treasures the toy. It's easy. You've had loads of life experiences, just pull them all together, but make it wolfy. No irony, only the truth. Slowly, the kids turn away from you. The kids study you, attentive. The children ignore you, entranced by the...
The fire exit stands conspicuously ajar. Someone has wedged it open with a ball. Wrong. Ball wants to play, not wedge. A hallway. It's just a fire exit. A fine place to hide in a moment of crisis. Marked and remembered. No, it's a trap. Must be destroyed. The tableau stays undisturbed.
Off-brand drivers, cheap plastic housing. Mass-produced excrement. These animals pleasure themselves in it. That's right. We are quite a ways from you buying something, my friend. You see this? Each one guaranteed for 10,000 replays. Obscene. That's right. Imaginative faculties dulled by senseless repetition. Forgive me, friend. I'd mistaken you for a common replayer. Too much to ask, I expect, that you're a fellow Einzelton aficionado? One of a fast-fading few. Go ahead, browse away. My name's Petre. If you need anything, I'll be here, lamenting what's left of the culture.
The vendor's eyes narrow behind his orange lenses.
This is a media store, not the missing persons division. Bother one of the GMs with questions like that. The sock boy. Dialectical-looking glasses. Air of advanced virginity. Yes, he came by here. Little communist lost. Adrift among the many wonders of the free market. He was dreaming big, I'll give him that. Also dreaming moronic. Your dialectical friend mistook himself for some sort of big money businessman. He wanted the bazaar to import superblock hosiery. Socks to start with, but there was talk of cotton tights, even stockings if the venture took off.
No. And to be honest, I wouldn't have wasted the stock. He seemed immune to music. You're joking, of course. He didn't even know what a velo disc was, let alone an Einzelton. At a certain point, I'm just debasing myself. Of course not. I don't sell socks. So is he all right, your man? Or what? Yes, yes. We are all so well intended. I'll be blunt. Are you with a weeping eye? Because they've been especially active here recently. Usually they just let things slide. All the Lucian merchandise. Good for everyone. But these days, they're staring right at us. Unblinking. Keep them. If things get too hot, I can always slit my wrists with a shard of Velodis before they take me down. My point is, your colleague was asking questions. Now, something's obviously happened, and here you are, also asking questions. Given the current climate, no one wants to answer these questions, least of all, me. I'll tell you what I told your sock friend. Speak to the boatman down by the West docks. He's the one who knows the underground goings-on around here. We're just the vendors. The cool one. Excessive sunglasses. Relaxed aura, likely on a boat. No way of confusing him. Wonderful. Now for all our sakes, please say no more. If you want to talk media formats, I'm your man. This a strange how? Format or content? More cheap calories to sate the masses. All right, let's have it. An Einzelton XR. Where did you get this? Einzelton hasn't been available to regular consumers for a decade. A disc in good condition is worth thousands of sol to people who appreciate its wonders.
Specialists, collectors of the rare and the defunct, people like him, in other words.
You played it? And what? You thought to defile a corpse a little more just for fun? I expected better from you. Better they recalled them all years ago. Better a mass manufacturing fault than this, to save them from this humiliation from being passed around like...
A light switch flips off in his eyes. He handles it as reverently as if it were a tiny plastic coffin.
I'm sorry. UV can only be ultraviolet. Degenerate Lucian electrodross. There's a new fabricated star every day, it seems. But she's the top of today's pile. Lucky you. This ultraviolet has gone missing at the moment. Kidnapped by counter-fascist radicals, whatever that means. Lucian marketing plot, if you ask me. Don't try to brighten my day. Optimism is slow-acting poison. Things like her make me almost miss the days the Lucians were marching on the colonies. None of this is the Einzeltone's fault, of course. They can't control what gets seared upon them. What you have in your possession is an incredibly rare disc format that self-effaces after a single transcendent play. Now that it's been played out, it's nothing. A desecrated corpse, a necrophile's plaything. Just a disc, is it? And we're just piles of blood and gristle? It really saddens me to hear you speak like this. I almost would have preferred if you were just a regular replayer. Instead, you get my hopes up only to dash my brains out against some rocks. No, I'm afraid it's not. No more potential, only anti-potential. Replayability is oblivion. The end. I assume fondling a human corpse would also make you feel pretty weird. What can I say? It's a powerful format, even post-mortem. You seem to have misunderstood my soliloquy. It's done. No mass. The beauty and the tragedy of the format. I hope you dispose of it with dignity. I think a private ceremony would be most appropriate. I'm afraid not. The format is near obsolete. Einzeltone is the past, yet it contains the future. How exquisite. So, your question is, Petre, how do I reanimate a corpse? I would class it as necrophilia, actually. I'll be honest, the thought is so disturbing to me that I've never entertained it before. But theoretically... Theoretically, it might be possible. You would have to repolarize, re-reminence processing, probably a concentrated magnetic flip, neodymium grader. It would involve some custom gear, no doubt, but my answer to your distressing question is yes. I think you could. Why don't you film it and make a snuff disc out of it? One for the techno-voyeurs. Don't ask me about this again. I feel unclean. Culture? Portopheron? Scrapped. This new Lucian mania is all-consuming. Nobody wants anything that isn't techno-fascist trash, including, apparently, their own souls.
Obsession with foreign imports. Sufferers of so-called Lucian mania will consult the wall.
Yes, well, I'm sure it must seem that way to someone from the jungles of wherever you're from. Anything we once had has been consumed, overwritten, digested, and shat out by Luz. And the worst thing is, we know it. We just don't care. The culture blockade was designed to prevent this, but now anyone with the wits to create anything new just spends their time devising ways to get past the signal blockers and access Lucian drivel. whole thing's a myth anyway. Failed project. Most of the crates I get from Luz come stamped by the Ministry of Mass Culture. They want it all out there. Provincial, but honest. Silk, sad national poetry. Music, the same kinds they play in the so-called developed world, except a couple decades late and desperately effortful.
Incapable of competing with Lusian media on the most basic neurological level. Fuck this. You want blood, dopamine, wolves.
You could at the very least consume the propaganda they produce for adults, you know. That's why I'll be here, enjoying the front row seat to the downfall of culture. That is my punishment. Taste. That would be preferable to the truth of things. There is no politics to it that they can see. They just want something they can idiotize themselves with. You'd think we had run out of brick walls. I take it this means Luz hasn't managed to make it into wherever you're from.
Another victory for our great and anonymous censors.
Financially tolerable. Morally abhorrent. Every day there's new formats, categories, each one more depraved than the last. Of course, I can't say that out loud. Customer, you know?
He says it to everyone.
Well, there was a certain period in the early years of Portofino independence when everybody on this cursed island was holding their breath waiting for La Lutz to invade. But nothing happened. Instead, a few years later, the radio signals began coming in. Pop music, radio operas, later television shows. And here we are, on the front line, spreading our ears and legs wide open. I can't be sure, but I have reason to believe the media they let reach us isn't even the same one they broadcast to their own people. It's made for us. When the city caught on, they put up the signal blockers, but it was too late. Hopelessly. Like heroin addicts, but with no chance of rehabilitation. Maybe not. The bazaar is closing up soon. Another day, another cultural molestation.
The Guardia Municipal officer is intensely scratching at his neck. As you approach, he wipes his hand on his pant leg. The folks who guard property rights are not worthy of answers.
Canned beverages are lined up like brightly coloured soldiers, neatly regimented behind coiled springs.
The can makes a pleasant funk as it lands. The refreshments remain dormant in their artificially chilled chamber. The man gives no indication of registering your presence as you approach. His mirrored sunglasses are turned upwards. Orange and blue feathers, predators. I'll have a talk with the vendors later today. A firm one. He's genuinely perplexed. The fire exit remains ajar, ball wedged into the crack. You emerge into the dark insides of a deceased mechanical beast. The only light comes from above a set of steel stairs, which you alight carefully, gripping the cop. The fire exit remains ajar, ball wedged into the crack. You open the door and climb the spotlit stairs once again. The steel door to Tempo's office is before you. Faint oxidation halos bloom across it, like algae on a sunken wreck. No response. It's locked. Show it who's boss. Silence from the other side. Below you, the social static of the bazaar muffled by distance. You get no answer, no twitch or shuffle behind the metal. But you get an impression of the room, a vibration, somewhere between crime scene and radioactive accident. A brief tremor runs through the metal, but it doesn't budge. Humans dominate doors every day. Hurl this one back down the pecking order. Your asset called for you. Whatever's behind this, you can take it. Decaying rectangle with limited movement. Kill. The frame screams in protest, then concedes as you fling the door backwards into the room. A layer of dust covers the desk, along with a grey notebook, an electronic terminal, and a golden photo frame. And next to the frame is an eye with a long single teardrop, shaped out of a fine white powder. The unmistakable symbol of the weeping eye, the secret police of Lelou's. It's soft and ringed. The word accounts is written across the top in black marker. A thicket of serial numbers, dates, columns and rows cover the pages top to bottom, along with shorthand references to accounts, both incomes and outgoings. As you flip through, 2 sets of handwriting emerge from the sheets. One matches the title accounts on the front, while the other is tidier and appears only in the very last entries. The first set of handwriting dates back years, the sloppy all capitals which must belong to Tempo. The second, newer set appearing about a week ago is an elaborate looping cursive. Some of the eyes have hearts instead of dots. Boring, boring, boring. A list of names, titles and compensation. One of the rows has been firmly crossed out, and payments seem to have stopped a few weeks ago. Ignatz. It doesn't ring a bell. Rent, utilities and other minor operating costs, including travel. Multiple instances of round-trip tickets between Portofino and Acquair de la Luz. You avert your gaze. The pale screen reads Miwa Terminal Model 4 and displays a directory. It is far more futuristic than anything your peasant eyes have ever seen. The crying powder eye stares at you. It's either a warning related to the world historical information you're here for, or he has become a brand ambassador for the enemy. At this stage, nothing can be ruled out. The dial is somewhere between yeah and totally. As you turn the frame around, dust falls and a blade of light momentarily obliterates the row of faces presented, cutting straight to our heart. Fuck. Rising from the damp cellars of regret. Taxman. S-Stock. Virtue. Radiant. Kindred. Holocene. Known to the opera as the whole sick crew. Unknown to you as those friends you left to die 5 years ago. You abandoned them. They were counting on you, but you only thought of yourself. You scared, selfish little cunt. Do you smell the crippling failure oozing from your skin? Do you feel the secret knowledge of your aching shame pulsing in your skull? You slip the photo out of the frame, into your pocket. Yes. You turn from the desk, back to the empty room. You step to the window, beyond which the bazaar spreads slightly obscured behind a fog of grime and dust. You gather up your sleeve and exhale onto the window, where your breath reveals a clear handprint in the dust. You wipe off the stain, leaving a section of clearish glass at eye level. Across the canal is the district of Lower Vudas, a haggling mess of slums, continually sprouting from the defunct ruins of itself. A cross-section of the city would be a cliff face, stacked with evidence of floods, political tides, and fossils of forgotten hardware. Nighttime finds the bazaar nearly empty. You observe a few teenagers and individual souls going about their routines, lost in your musings. Known to the opera as the Whole Sick Crew. You flip the shutter lock open from the inside and slip out into Portofino.